All right, there we go. We are live. Yep, there we go. We are live. Hello, hello, hello. Incredible greetings. Incredible greetings, everyone. How y'all doing? How y'all doing? How y'all doing? Instagram. Whoa, 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 whoa. All right, let me try this again. Let me mute you guys temporarily. Okay, so I had to get it all set up and turn it down so that I can go into it and share this out. So bear with me as I share. Okay, let's do this. Copy and share. Ooh. And then let's get this put into my groups so that we can share here. Uh-oh. All right, there we go. All shared out. How y'all doing? Now I got to get back to my regular page because I don't see comments until I go on to my regular page because for some reason StreamYard no longer allows you to make videos public when you stream to your platform from StreamYard. Like if you stream to a business page, it lets it be public. But if you use your personal page to stream, it either defaults to only me or it defaults to friends only people who are actually like not even followers, just people who have sent you like a friend request, which I don't really like. It used to be public and you used to be able to go in and actually change that to public, but they took away. I'm not sure if it's StreamYard took it away or Facebook or Meta took it away, but you can't actually go in and change it to public anymore. Um, so I always have to just go over here to actually see any comments that you guys leave on like the main page or whatever. All right. So hello, 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 incredible. I'm not going to be on long. I tried to go live right at 10:30 because I do have a Canva training that starts at 11. We're going to be doing session 6 of our 13-week training on Canva and just breaking it down piece by piece by piece to make sure that you have a full understanding. For those who are enrolled, and you still have time to enroll, especially if you want to join us or watch the playback, you still have time to enroll in that. And join us in the Canva training. So I'm not going to be on too long. Just kind of wanted to come on. I mean, I've had, I don't know, I guess when I'm not live every single day, like I was previously, even if it's just like a couple of days, for me, it feels like I've not been on live for a lifetime. Now, I do believe I did go live last week. I think I did. Maybe not. I don't know. But whenever I'm it's like a couple of days. For me, it feels like a lifetime, because I spent years going live every single day. And I'm really trying to work on, and trying to accept the new normal and not going live all the time, because I don't know what more I'm very open, and I know that most people would say that this is not what you're supposed to do in business, especially when you are somebody that is a quote unquote, like, coach or mentor or whatever. Being so open and vulnerable when you're going through it, most people will say that it makes your audience like not trust you, or it's like, well, hell, if you don't have it all together, why am I following you? Why am I paying you for these trainings and things of that nature? But there's so many factors that can affect that. And you may not be going through what I'm going through. It's not something that's like universal, where it's like, okay, well, things are a little bit slow for me, so they're going to be slow for everyone. That's not the case. Like, I have like some things going on, like trying to figure out, I've talked about it before, like trying to figure out, this whole thing with my son and his like education. I am someone who has very bad anxiety, which caused me to go into tailspin sometimes, and I overthink things, and it gets to a point to where it's almost paralyzing, and like not just I just can't get out of it. So that's a me thing. It's not like a industry thing. It doesn't take away from what I know to be true about, setting up a website or doing marketing and branding. I know that I need to be able to do content, but I'm one where I, openly admit that I'm not too great. Like, I suck at it. It's not my thing that I'm innately good at when it comes to creating short form content. That takes a lot out of me. Like, I love long form. I love things where I'm able to teach, like, and share my knowledge and share the things, like just share the things I know, share my gifts and talents. That is where I thrive at. But I also know that that is something that I cannot do every single day, because it will affect enrollment. Because if I'm on and I'm teaching the things freely every single day, it's going to affect my business. But as someone who is not into like teaching and training and things of that nature, you just want to sell the things that you are creating. You want to learn how to design, to the level that I am, and even better than how I design. I'm able to still teach that even when I'm in kind of a weird funk, because I still love to teach. It's crazy. And my therapist says all the time, like, Shakia, that's not a hobby. That's not an outlet. You have to find something else. But like, when they ask, like, hey, what is that you like to do? What do you do for fun? And I'm like, teach. But she's like, but didn't you say that's what you do for business? And I don't know how to separate the two, which is not always a good thing. But like, for you guys, because you are making the things, like making the creative things and still hand making them, your journey will be a little bit different. I still make things, but it's not my primary business, because the demand changed for me, in that when I was putting stuff out there that I was creating, more and more people wanted to know, well, how do you make this? How do you do that? And being mainly a solopreneur, it is hard to do both of those things. Staying on top of marketing for my finished products and my finished services, and then also teaching, it can be hard, because those are two different markets. You cannot do both. Even with this whole uptick in digital products, and everyone saying, oh, well, whatever you're designing, go and just sell that to another crafter, sell that to another creative. You have something that you're doing and somebody will want it. You can make passive income by selling that. You can make money in your sleep. That is not entirely true. And being able to just make money in your sleep off of something that you created once. So the thought, like the hook, when people are doing reels and they're doing content and things of that nature, is, okay, well, let me teach you to create it once and you can sell it over and over. Or you can buy my file, that's PLR. If you don't know what PLR is, it's private label rights, meaning I created it or I purchased it from somebody else. I didn't even create it. I don't know anything about these files. So don't ask me anything about it, because all I did was I purchased it from somebody else that said, hey, if you spend $500 on this or $100 on this, you can take these same files and you can go and find the audience that also wants this, because I can't reach everybody, and you can resell it to them where you're going to make your money back and do X, Y, and Z and blah, 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 blah. And you can become rich, because if you bought it from me for 500, but now you go and you find 3 more people to sell it to for $500 or $100, you've made your money back and then you've made profit. Like that's that's the game, for a lot of people. So if you're not selling like PLR, or if you decide you want to, you still have to do the work to find the people that want it. Those who are buying your finished products, like that average mom, or that average, like that mom, that dad, that uncle, that grandmother, that business that wants you to make keychains, make mugs, make shirts, make gift boxes. They're not looking to DIM it. So y'all know I say DIM it. They're not looking to say like, I'm going to do this myself, right? They're wanting someone else to do it. They don't have the printers. They don't have the heat presses. They don't have the machinery. They don't have the paper. They don't have the vinyl, right? So they're coming to you to do those, like to do this for them. The files that you're selling, that's going to be for other creatives, which means you have to now create content to sell this to them. But then they'll go and say, all right, well, you just want to take what you make and you're going to post it inside of a Facebook group. And then when people ask, oh my God, that's so amazing, where'd you get that file? Like they make you feel like everyone's going to just ask you for this file and it's going to be so easy to sell. Or just upload it to Etsy. Everyone gets sales on Etsy, but there's a lot of people who will go and say that their reality is they don't make money on Etsy. They're trying to figure out what, to them, they feel like they are doing something wrong because they put their stuff on Etsy. Like they followed what the guru said. They put their stuff up on Etsy, but no sales are coming in because it still requires you to do some work. It requires you to market. It requires you to brand yourself. It requires you to network. There is absolutely no business that exists that is successful without actual work in the branding, marketing, networking like spaces. Someone has to refer it, or it has to be visual, like visible, should I say. There has to be some type of visibility. When it comes to restaurants, it's, you have signage and things to where when you ride down the street, hey, they're here. They're going to have, if they're an Italian restaurant, a Chinese restaurant, Vietnamese, or whatever, whatever type of, if it's a soul food restaurant, if it's a, whatever it is, it's going to have something there. And there's that visibility. Like they're paying for signage where people can see it even from the street, right? Even if they're like, it was like a local mom and pop, they might not be doing commercials, but there's something like they're doing maybe some social media content. Or back in the day when you'd have the people, I don't see them as much, like people that are standing out there. And that's actually a skill, to take that little like sign and like flip it and do all the tricks and things like that. I think it's a safety hazard, but some people will use that. Going old school with flyers. I say all that to say you still have to brand and market. I don't care what anyone says. Like there's no easy way to just make money, like just to create something. If that was the case and it was that easy, everyone would be thriving in business. There wouldn't be people looking for outlets or clamoring to AI, because everyone's saying AI is going to build way more millionaires than da 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 da. Like I keep hearing and seeing these commercials, especially like on YouTube. And with the way AI is now, it's going to help a lot more like millionaires who are maybe stuck in the like 1 to 2, 3 to 4, help them get to 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Those who are in the 10 million range is going to help them excel. But for the person that's just starting out, it's not that easy. Like I feel like I'm being drowned out, and it's like almost suffocating to a point, because You hear a lot of this noise, and we as humans, because you hear it so much, it's like, well, if so many people are saying it, it has to be true. But then for me to be that voice of reason where it's like, yo, it can work for you, but it's not this magic formula that's just going to just change everything overnight for you. AI actually requires a lot of input. You cannot just go into AI, tell it this, whatever, and it just spits out. I was in this training, and one of the things that Russell Brunson said was like, for him, he feels like for every one word that he wants to come out of, like, come back from AI, he's feeding it 500. Chat GPT, Claude, Notebook, well, Notebook LM will kind of go off of whatever you put in it. But a lot of these like LLMs, like large learning models, which is like what AI is, it's giving you information back based off of what you put in. Even when people give you these prompts, it becomes very generic. It's pulling from the data that other people have put in. This is why sometimes you'll put these prompts in. It might sound good because you're looking at it through the eyes of someone who's struggling, who's like, you're just grasping for straws, like you want something to click. So it's like, oh, it sounds great, but then you try to implement it, like, okay, this isn't working like for me. This doesn't sound like me. It sounds so robotic. Everything sounds the same. And I think eventually we will get to a point to where the way that AI outputs information, the way they output words, we're just going to accept it, right? It's going to become very normal. Right now, for me, it feels very cringy when I see certain things that are put out that are like AI, and it's like you can tell it wasn't adjusted. It's not really that person. Like, it doesn't seem like a real person. It's cringy to me, but I think over time we're just going to just become numb to it. But with AI, you have to feed it. Even with these prompts, if your AI, whichever one you're using, doesn't know things about you, if you haven't talked to it, if you haven't fed it things about your personality, the good, the bad, the ugly, the bad parts about you, the parts where you're like, hey, I procrastinate. So if it now knows you are a person that procrastinates, it's not going to go and give you all of these like things because it's like, dude, you're never going to do any of this because you procrastinate. So if you're not feeding your AI models everything about you in a sense, just so they can frame it. If they don't know about your business, if you are having a hard time describing your business, I ask questions of my audience all the time. And it's twofold. One, it's for me so that I know what I need to do to be able to help, you in your journey, but it's also to see, what do you think about your business? How invested are you? Are you able to articulate what the business is that you're trying to start, build, or grow? Um, what is it that you need help with? Where are the areas that you are weak in? What are your strong suits? Like, even asking that, and people can't answer it, but then we wonder why we're not growing in business. You don't have a relationship with your business. Like, it's hard for you to even articulate. You're just going off. I find that a lot of people are just going off of what other people's success, and they're saying, hey, it is possible. And we go to that old saying, like, it's very cliche, if the Lord did it for them, he can do it for me. And it's like that. It works if you're going to put in the same amount of work. But AI isn't this cure all for things, because one, it requires a lot of input, and in order to get like the really good outputs and for it to really work faster for you, you have to spend money. Those who already have businesses, they live by AI. They're going to push it and say how much it's made their life so much efficient. They're profiting more because they're able to lay off people, and maybe they're able to trim down the fat because they're using more AI tools. but they're also paying for these AI tools. Like they're not going, all these people that are like going to be millionaires, and you hear those commercials, they're not going to get there by using any of the free versions of these. Like it'll get them started, but in order for it to really work for you, you're going to have this subscription and that subscription and this one. You're going to have to buy these credits and do this. Then you're going to have to mix and match. Incorporating AI into your business where it takes over can literally take up your entire day, and like even in like creating marketing material, because you got to start off in one program because this one knows you and you want it to create the outline. Then you're going to take that information and you're going to plug it into here. Then you have to figure out the right prompt to get the face to do this, to do that. So now you're researching prompts. So you have to do that part. Then it's going to go and it's going to create like these short clips. Then you have to go into the next one to go in and then clip it together. Then we have to go and put it onto social media. For some people, they're doing all of this themselves. And it's like we end up losing the plot. What about the actual business? Now you feel like, well, I don't have time to press a shirt or to design or to work on my website because now I'm trying to do all this AI stuff, where a lot of them, what they don't tell you is, I'm using AI, I'm incorporating AI, but I'm not the person that's doing it. Like I hired someone on my team that knows AI and they're doing that. Like their job is to not do this manually. You need to learn AI. So it will create positions for people who know it, because now employers and corporations, they're looking for people who understand AI without a whole lot of like input from higher ups. Like, hey, you know what to do. We kind of had this set up, do X, Y, and Z. Set up our customer service for us, where I don't have to pay someone to be there answering phones. I used to work in a call center. Like I remember how many people are sitting around me that's answering phones for a DirecTV commercial, like the commercial side. And then you go to the residential side. So now if they are able to eliminate those jobs by feeding all of their frequently asked questions, feeding in all of their promotions, what their pricing is, all of that, they're now able to set this up. When you call, you're not talking to a regular person. It's based off of the answers that you're giving it. It's going to give you X, Y, and Z. And then eventually, if you kind of pass the prerequisite part, and then you might speak to a regular person, but that you've eliminated a lot of people. So now you get to eliminate jobs. That is how they're becoming richer, is they are becoming more efficient, and they're eliminating the need for manpower and manual labor for AI, but it's also costing them. But the cost of these AI tools is less than paying someone who lives in Miami, where cost of living is high, and you have to pay them $13 an hour. But I can pay you $13 an hour, $15 an hour, $18 an hour for 5 days for 8 hours a day, 5 days a week. Or I can take that same $18, add a little bit more to it. I'm going to have ChatGPT, like the Pro, or even someone's salary for one day. They're paying for ChatGPT for the month. And now I just have to pay one person to feed this. This is how they're getting rich off of it, but it doesn't work for the average person. So I've dedicated, like for me, I always feel like I'm suffocating in this because I don't talk about AI so much, because I don't feel like the audience that I speak to is fully ready for like that full-on automation. Like I try to feed it in like, okay, this is what AI can help you with. This is what it can do for you, but you have to be very mindful of it. Or I wanted to be able to teach you low-cost programs that can help your business, help semi-automate it, because you may not be able to afford full-on automation. If you're not in a position where you can pay for a Shopify site or a Wix site, but hey, you are paying for that Canva account. Guess what? Canva has a website feature. You can start your website on there, just that you have a web presence. You're already in there designing all of your things anyway, so it's not going to be any like that much more different to then make it into a website. So I try my best to teach these systems. I started with Silhouette Studio. You want to be able to design, you don't have Photoshop. All right, get you a Creative Fabrica account, account, because they have fonts there, they have SVGs there, they have PNGs there, they have like JPEGs there, they have all sorts of things. Now you're going to download from this when you have unlimited downloads, bring it into this free program so that you can design. And now it's less money that you have to spend out. So this is me understanding my audience, understanding what you need, understanding how you're thinking. I want to grow, but everything seems like you need money, 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 money. I spent so many years just giving so much freely on YouTube and things of that nature. But then that changed and that money changed. So then now I have to charge, more, just a little bit more for classes. But as one of the people that I follow, like one thing that she always says is mentorship means faster. My goal is to take my expertise, my knowledge, and help you, like help meet you where you are and get you to the next step faster. Oh, whoa, it's 11 o'clock already. Dang it. And I was all into it. So I gotta go. It's actually 11 o'clock. I didn't realize that 30 minutes went by so freaking fast. Oh my God, that 30 minutes went by so fast. I can't even, I'm sorry, I can't see your comments. For those who commented on here, I can't see them. Oh, someone says, can I ask you a question? What app do you recommend to edit videos? Canva. You can use Canva to edit your videos, or you can use CapCut. But if you have a Canva account, use Canva. But I didn't, oh man, I had some other points, but it's 11 o'clock. I gotta go. Now, there are 2 links in the description. We are about to kick back off our creative business program, which I am going to end up changing the name because I want it to be open to anybody that's in business, where we talk about, figuring out which website is best for you, understanding how to properly price, understanding how to be able to talk to your audience, how to market, how to brand, different things that you can do, like when it comes to these QR codes, or be able to read analytics. We're going to talk about taxes and things of that nature also. So there are 2 links. We have our Canva one, which is understanding Canva. It's our prerequisite to our business training. I want to come back and I'm going to talk about that, because I literally had a moment like Saturday, like I was ready to just give up everything when it comes to Canva, but I had to kind of have a come to Jesus moment, and just kind of push through. And it's like, hey, I'll let the chips fall where they may. If I get shut down, I get shut down. But until the point where I get like fully shut down, I'm gonna keep going. I'm gonna keep doing my Canva training. But I'm just gonna kind of switch up the way that I communicate it. Like it will be one of the tools that we use when we are teaching, but it won't be like the only thing. So I am going to kind of switch that up, but there are 2 links there if you want to grow in your business and just understanding tools and resources for the business side, not the design side, not the, hey, well, can someone tell me like what's selling in your area? You have to figure that out. You have to be willing to talk to your audience. And I'm finding that so many of you guys, you want to have a business, but you're afraid to talk to people. Please explain to me how that works. Because if you don't have the money to pay for someone to be your spokesperson, like they do in the big leagues, where they're paying for commercials and actors and actresses and directors and all these different people and ad agencies to do all these things for them, where they become the voice and the face and they're pushing the message. Like there's a lot of money that goes into that. If you don't have that, you don't want to post on social media, you want to scroll it, you get feel goods in watching people talk about things, and it's like, oh yes, and you're just so motivated, but you're not doing it. You are afraid and you keep asking the same questions. How do I get over this fear? Just do it. There's no magic pill. There's no mindset coach. They're going to tell you a whole bunch of stuff to make you feel good, and you're still not going to go and make that video. You're not going to do an in-person. You're not going to go to networking events. Like you're still going to be stuck. There has to be some real effort to what it is that you're trying to build, especially if you're short on cash. I specialize in that. You're not going to get rich overnight, but you will learn what you need where you are with what you can afford to do and to take those baby steps to just keep climbing to actually reach your goals. But I gotta go because it's 11:06 and I normally give like a 10-minute grace period for people to get in. So I want to be able to go over there and say hello to them, but I will be back afterwards to talk to you guys just about business. And it can be hard. Know that you are not alone. It's other people that's dealing with that. No matter how many people you see that are, you feel like are uber successful and it just seems like they just have it all together, know that there is someone that's just like you, who's struggling, who's trying to figure it out just like you. And if you need a no judgment space where there are people that are just like you, they're not looking down on you because they're trying to figure out as well, click those links in the description and join us either in the Creative Business Prerequisite or the Creative Business program, or join both. All right, y'all. Until next time, have a great one. Continue to unlock your creativity and be incredible. Peace.